Welcome to another episode on our channel. So this is an unboxing. It's a Hot Toys box, but I didn't get anything Hot Toys related recently that I'm aware of. This should be a Threezero figure, but maybe they used a Hot Toys box is my only thinking. If they accidentally sent me something that was Hot Toys, I need to get back to them and let them know that. But let's see. I hope I'm not surprised. This should be fairly simple. It should be a 3-0 figure. All right. So let me figure out how to open it. Ha 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 ha. Game of Thrones. So it did come in its box. It's not that I need boxes anymore. It's things I have to store, but Game of Thrones. This, good. I'm glad because according to the number on the box, if it was Hot Toys, it would have been something I wouldn't want. But this is what I want. So this is the Hound, Sandor Clegane. So how do you open? Okay. Oh, I should talk about the box itself. It looks like it's in pretty good. The outer cover looks like it's in pretty darn good shape. Other than maybe here's a little crease. But all I really care about these days is the front. Looks like either side could be the front, and both sides look to be in good order. So that definitely is good. And it looks like it's never been open. It's got the little circle pieces of tape. I don't know. I wish they wouldn't do that because then you have to take the tape off. I don't like leaving tape on. I open from the bottom. And I do like what Threezero does is they really save on packaging. They make it 1/3 or at least 1/2, I should say, of the size of a regular Hot Toys figure. And I think you can get away with that quite easily. Especially in a day and age where shipping and handling, again, can cost a fortune. Wow. I think he looks absolutely spot on. So what we'll do is we'll get everything out and I'll show you what he comes with. But he looks absolutely fantastic. All right, we'll be right back. We are back, and so here is the Hound from Game of Thrones. And even though it was a thinner box, half the size of a typical box, like from Hot Toys, they pack into it sometimes just as much as what's packed into a Hot Toys box. And I don't know why we can't, Hot Toys can't do that. It's just typical from Threezero to do that sort of thing. And it makes sense because shipping and handling, sometimes it isn't based all the time on just weight. It's the width, the height, the depth of the box that will be calculated into the process. But he comes with just as much as you would get from another Hot Toys figure. So he comes with relaxed hands on the body, and then you've got the completely fisted hands, and then you've got the gripping hands. So these are probably the ones I'm going to use, or at least one of these, for holding a sword. He has 2 additional wrist pegs on the off chance that you might break one. So cool. He has a long sheath that will house, it will house the long sword. There you go. And then he has a shorter sheath that will house the dagger. Cool. And he has a battle axe. So it's not made out of metal, but I don't care. You know, it's kind of neat when you get metal, but I mean, you don't know until you pick up the figure. It's just how the figure looks that's cool. He comes with a hood that you can put on separately or with the cape. It's a cool cape. So he comes with a lot of things. 3 sets of hands, 2 rest pegs, a sword in a sheath, a dagger in a sheath, and a battle axe, hood, cape, and plus everything he has on him. So we will pause. I will get him, I guess, dressed with what I want him to have. The sword. I don't think I'll use the battle axe, but we'll get him set up and we'll be right back. So here he is with his black boots, his brown pants, which matches the inside of his cape. And as we continue to move up, we'll see his outer coat, which is quite texturized. Very nice. The belt, the looping belt. And there are places on the sides of the belt where he can put both sheaths, to one for his dagger, one for his sword. I went ahead and put the hood on him and the cape, of course. And I've got a sword in one hand. I was debating about whether to put the dagger in the other hand, but this is what I settled on. So this is the Sandor Clegane from Game of Thrones via Threezero. We'll do some side-to-side shots now and get a close-up of his head. So here he is, and normally I don't do a full turnaround, but this time I will because it's so cool the look in the back. So you can see his outer jacket, his cape, the sword, and there is fur at the top of the cape. But I really like the hood, the additional look here that the hood produces. You can see the dagger now on the side here. It's really quite a look he has. Yeah. So what we'll do now is pause and get a close-up of his face. And it's very, very good. When Threezero first came out, I wasn't too excited about the head sculpts. But over the course of time, they have really taken it up to a pretty great and awesome level. I like that they used rooted hair in this situation. If you don't have rooted hair with a person with long hair, it is hard to move the head. So that was a nice call on their end. We are back, and here is the Hound from Game of Thrones, Rory McCann. He's 6'6" and almost missed out on getting the part because the casting directors casting directors didn't see his audition tape. It was George R.R. Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones, who asked them to look at the tape, and he was cast for the part. Before being an actor, and he actually began acting at the age of 29. He was a bridge painter, a carpenter, a landscaper. He had a band called Thunder Soup. He could play the piano, guitar, banjo, and mandolin. So very musical, apparently. I didn't know that about him. He was an avid hiker, climber, sailor, was into sailing. He fell off a mountain in the 90s, about 70 feet, broke both ankles, a wrist, an arm, and his skull, but of course recovered. And we came to love him in the Game of Thrones. I couldn't find anything about his father, but he has mentioned his mother as his most loving fan. He has a sister, younger sister, who is into the film industry as well as a costume designer. So what else can I tell you? I think that's pretty much it. Just it was just by good fortune that George R.R. Martin saw his audition tape and thought of him so highly that he asked casting directors to look at the audition tape. And the rest is history. He loved being on the set, that much I know. I saw a little clip of him talking about the process. He said everyone got along. There were no people with massive egos, no divas, no, guys who needed to be front and center. Everybody just, it was like a family, he said. He basically could cycle to the place where the set was to do the acting job he was paid to do because they were close. He is part of the Scottish Labour Party, so into environmental things, and on and on the list goes, which doesn't surprise me. He's an avid hiker, climber, into sailing, that sort of thing. He's got to be into nature as a result. So anyway, that's only a fraction of what I know about him, but what I found out was very interesting. The Hound, Sandor Clegane. So here was the figure of the day, Sandor the Hound, next to Arya Stark. And he is 6'6", she's 5'1". So even though this is 1/6 scale, probably has him a bit shorter than what he is in true life. They look proportionate to what happened in the series. And again, my two favorite figures. Not that I didn't like all the characters in the series. I liked quite a few of the characters in the series. So but I'm starting out with my two favorite, these two characters. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.